Sopanam 8. Vedabodhaka Mohanashaka Bodhayashu me Paramasamvidam. Longing for renunciation. Mokshasya hetuhu prathamo nigadyate vairagyamatyantamanithyavastushu tatashamaschapi damasti tiksha nyasah prasaktakhila karmanam dhrisham. Intense dispassion towards ephemeral objects is the first prerequisite for moksha, liberation. After that, shama, restraint of mind, dhamma, sense control, titiksha, forbearance to accept destiny, and renunciation of all motivated actions should be developed. Tatashrutistan-mananam satatva-dhyanam chiram nitya-nirantaram munehe tato vikalpam parametya vidvan ihaiva nirvana sukham samruchhati. Thereafter must follow listening to the Mahavakyas of Vedanta, reflecting thoroughly on their implied meaning, and uninterrupted meditation holding on to the intuitive glimpse of the truth. The dispassionate Muni who practices in this manner experiences the joy of nirvana here and now through nirvikalpa samadhi. Sanyasya shravanam kuryat. After taking to the life of a sannyasin, listen to the Vedantic truths is the general injunction in Vedanta. What is sannyasa? In the Upanishads and the Bhashya, the commonly used term for sannyasa is parivrajanam. Parivrajanam is not mere wandering around as it is commonly understood. Its essential meaning is jnana. In the Bhagavad Gita Bhashya, Acharya states, Jnanam sannyasa lakshanam, and again, samsarasya atyanto parama lakshanam. The very nature of jnana is complete dissolution of samsara. Birth, growth, change, decay, disease, and death are related to the body. In fact, death is another name for the body. After listening to the truth from the Guru that one's real nature is different from the body, one must carefully reflect on it and contemplate in solitude. By following this tradition, one realizes the self and becomes liberated. A sannyasi is the most eligible for Shravana as he is free from all encumbrances, worldly or Vedic. Scriptures use the term Nirodha for sannyasa. Nirodha means cessation. Narada Sutra states, Nirodhastu loka veda vyapara nyasaha. Nirodha means transcending all worldly or Vedic interactions. A strong determination to follow the path of sannyasa arose in Shankara's mind. A Brahmana is released from many of the worldly bondages just by the performance of ritualistic disciplines as enjoined by the Vedas. But the very rituals that released him from desire-oriented activities could also become an obsession and bind him to the world. As these rituals cannot be performed without identification with the body and its characteristics like Brahmana, Grihastha, and so on, they themselves defeat the higher purpose. Instead of removing the image born of superimposition, these strong identifications persist as obstacles to realization. Acharya states thus in Brahma Sutra Bhashya, Atmani varnashrama vayoho avasthadi vishesha adhyasama ashritya pravartante shastrani Atmavijnanat prak pravartamanam shastram avidya vishayatvam nati vartate. The Shastras prescribe dharma by superimposing varna, ashrama, age, and the like on the self. This superimposition, as well as the dharma or the law of living prescribed by the Vedas, exist within the periphery of ignorance. Hence, they are meant for laymen and have their authority only until the realization of the self. Renunciation of Vedic rituals is permitted only for those who are qualified for sannyasa. Without proper authority, one should not give up performing the rituals prescribed by the Vedas. For those who have attained maturity to renounce karmas, the Shastras themselves give the liberty to do so in the scripturally ordained way, that is, sannyas ashrama. One who renounces action without complying with the Vedic prescription is called ashrama pasada, the fallen one, by the Dharma Shastras. A sannyasi is one who has completely surrendered himself to the Lord. The renunciation of karma by one who is rid of the sense of doership through self-knowledge leads to immortality. A true sannyasi purifies his lineage and makes his mother's life divinely fruitful. The very earth where he took birth becomes sacred. Although the decision to take up such a sannyasa was forming in Shankara's mind, how could he console Aryamba Devi? Relatives may help with taking care of her physical needs, but it is very difficult to ignore the obligations of a son towards his mother. The arrival of a divine sage. One day, a large group of ascetics arrived at Kaladi. They reached the house of Shivaguru, which was a permanent refuge for wandering monks. One of them, a yogi with matted locks, approached an elderly Brahmana of the household and said, "We are Gramaika Ratra Vidhi sannyasis, renunciates who stay only one night in a village. We have arrived here from the north via Gokarna and are bound for Kanyakumari and Rameshwaram via Anantashayanam. Our Guru, who is an elderly tapasvi, has come with us. We hope to get bhiksha in this house." The elderly Brahmana welcomed the sannyasis with due reverence and made arrangements for their stay under a huge ingudi tree in front of the house. As these sannyasis followed the rule of not entering houses of grihasthas, they happily stayed under the tree. After a while, a radiant Shankara, who was just 8 years old, entered the courtyard after completing his Madhyanika, noon worship in Purna. The yogis gazed at him with wonder. Shankara was seeing such a large group of sannyasis for the first time. Amidst them was an elderly radiant being, short-statured, well-built and with thick matted hair. The moment Shankara beheld the sage, his eyes and heart were irresistibly captivated. The child prostrated with due reverence to the austere figure. The sage asked, "Dear child, who are you?" Glowing like a flame of knowledge, "Are you Santkumara, Kabila, Atmatirtham, or Shiva himself?" Shankara replied, "There was a revered sagely Brahmana in this house by name Shivaguru. His son Shankara stands before you. You must yourself reveal to me my real identity." Seeing Shankara's humility, brilliance and dignity, the sage was very much pleased and treated the boy with affection and love. They conversed together in the Goshala house shed. This meeting was a turning point in Shankara's life. The sage said, "Dear one, it is not right to separate a child like you from his mother. At the same time, You are not destined to remain with her forever. You are a Karaka Purusha, a divine being descended to perform God's mission. Your Guru is waiting for you, crossing the rivers Purna, Pratichi, Krishna, Tunga, and Godavari. You must reach the banks of the river Narmada to meet him. The name of that enlightened yogi is Govinda Bhagavatpada. He is the only remaining link in the unbroken Jnana Parampara of Narayana, Brahma, Vashishta, Shakti, Parashara, Vyasa, Shuka, and Gaudapada. Govinda Bhagavatpada is a Brahmanishta, one who is perfectly established in the self. He is an Acharya who has directly imbibed the truth of Vedanta from Gaudapada. Many of his disciples attained spiritual fulfillment by serving him with devotion and getting all their doubts removed by his grace. Even today, several renunciates who have transcended the stage of Vedic rituals and upasanas in the prescribed way remain closely associated with him to receive the Upanishadic knowledge directly from him. Once, when I visited Govinda Bhagavatpada, he mentioned that he had had a vision of Shiva in which, pointing toward the child, the Lord had prophesied that the child, bearing an aspect of himself, would receive Brahma Vidya from him. Shankara, when I see you, I understand that his vision will come true. Shankara said, I have been blessed by the sight of your great self. Though inquisitive about your identity, it may be impertinent to ask. I salute you as the Supreme Self stated in the Vedas. The sage said, Child, you are what I am. Na nau pashyanti kavayah chidram jatu managapi. The seers find no difference between us. Tvamevaham, 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 na samshayah. Verily, you are me. You are me. You are me. There is no doubt in this. Saying this, the sage remained still like the vast ocean, like the infinite space. Next morning before dawn, the group of sadhus left Kaladi. Shankara had no doubt about the identity of the sage. He recollected a verse. Agastyo Bhagavaneshah Muninam Prathamo Guruhu Audaryena Avagacchami Nidhanam Tapasamimam. This sage indeed is Agastya, the foremost among sages. I recognize him by his large heart. Indeed, this great sage is a repository of tapas. After this incident, Shankara was always seen to prefer solitude, engaged in meditation. The elders of the family thought Shivaguru's serious disposition is reflected in his son. Atmavai putra namasi. One indeed takes second birth as the son, is the Vedic statement. Meanwhile, one day Shankara gently broached the topic with his mother that he had no interests in worldly and Vedic life of karma, and that he wished to attain the knowledge of the self that was not possible through karma. For that, he wished to take sannyasa and go to Omkareshwara to meet Govinda Bhagavatpada. These words were like a thunderbolt to the widow. She wailed and wept and even scolded him out of maternal affection. Seeing this, Shankara consoled his mother calmly. Mother, the first teaching is from the mother, then from the father, then from the Acharya. Matriman, Pitriman, Acharyavan Veda. So says the Shruti. Hence, I will not do anything without your permission. As though sensing the shadow of forthcoming events, Aryamba became broodingly quiet. She did not expect her son's decision, which was founded on deep dispassion, to change easily. She knew her son better than anyone else. Although majestic like the ocean and unmoving like the Mount Meru, Shankara appeared softer than a flower to his mother. Yet, she discerned that changing the mother's mind would not be a difficult task for the one who could change the course of the river Purna by sheer will. She kept going with the prayer, Putram me Shankaram Pahi, Gauri Vedartha Rupini. Divine Mother Gauri, the embodiment of Vedas, protect my child Shankara. Vishnu Temple and the Crocodile. The change in the course of the river Purna had greatly damaged the Vishnu temple on its banks. Scorpions, snakes, and crocodiles from the forests had also started flowing down the river. So the villagers decided to install the idol of Vishnu at a greater height and construct a new temple. The temple construction and installation of the divine idol took place without much delay. Shankara worshipped Sri Narayana by composing a beautiful Bhujanga Prayata. Vishnu Bhujanga Prayata Stotra. Chidamsham Vibhum Nirmalam Nirvikalpam Niriham Nirakaram Omkaragamyam Gunatitamavyakthamekam Turiyam Param Brahmayam Veda Tasmai Namaste. Vishuddham Shivam Shantamadhyanta Shunyam Jagat Jivanam Jyotirananda Rupam Adigdesha Kala Vyavachhedaniyam Trayivaktiyam Veda Tasmai Namaste. Mahayoga Pithe Paribrajamane Dharanyadi Tattvatmake Shakti Yukte Gunahaskare Vanhi Bimbartha Madhye Samasinamom Karnike Shtaksharabje Samanoditane Suryendu Koti Prabhapura Tulyadyutim Durniriksham Nashitam Nachoshnam Suvarnavadata Prasannam Sadananda Samvit Swarupam Sunasa Putam Sundara Brulalatam Kirito Chita Kunchita Snigdhakesham Spurat Pundarika Bhiramayakaksham Samuppullaratna Prasunavatamsam Lasat Kundalamrishtagandasthalantam Japaraga Choradharam Charuhasam Alivyakulamodi Mandaramalam Mahoraspurat Kaustubhodaraharam Suratnangadairan Vitambahudandais Chaturbhishchalat Kankanalankrithagraihi Udarodaralankritam Pitavastram Padadvandva Nirdhuta Padmabhiramam Swabhakteshu sandarshitakaramevam Sada bhavayas sanniruddhendriyashva Durapam naro yati samsara param Parasmai parebhyopi tasmai namaste Shriya Shatakumbhatyutisnigdhakantya Dharanya Chaturvadalasyamalangya Kalatradvayena Munatoshikaya Triloki grihasthaya Vishnu namaste. After the consecration, Shankara stepped into the river for Mangala Snanam, the concluding sacred bath. Neck deep in water, he stood facing the sun, meditating. Vishnu and some others were with him. His mother watched from a distance. Suddenly, there was a big thud in the water. Water splashed everywhere. Turmoil arose as people screamed, "Crocodile! Crocodile!" Scared, everyone speedily climbed up the banks. Even as Vishnu was trying to pull the meditating Shankara back to the banks, he was already caught by the creature. Alarmed, Aryamba cried aloud, "O Devi Katyayani! Shankara has been caught by a crocodile." Bold men tried their best to save Shankara by attacking the crocodile with sticks and stones, but without success. The creature moved deftly to deeper waters, pulling Shankara along. In the struggle to free himself from the clutches of the menacing creature, Shankara was often seen splashing in and out of the water. With all his might, he cried out, "Mother, at least now permit me to embrace sannyasa. Bless me that I may enter Turiya Ashrama, the fourth stage of life, before death claims this body." Hearing this, the mother sincerely prayed aloud, "O Lord of Rishabhachala, if by becoming a sannyasi, Shankara would get a longer lifespan, let it be so." To the joyous astonishment of one and all, at that very moment, the crocodile released Shankara and swam away. Thus ends the eighth Sopanam.